We just got an extended look at 007 First Light during PlayStation's dedicated State of Play, and honestly, I liked what I saw. It gave us a clear sense of what to expect and how the game will actually play. From the footage, it definitely carries some Hitman vibes, but still feels distinct with all the action, combat moves, and gunplay. This game explores James Bond's origin as 007, which means we'll see a version of Bond that's not the polished agent we all know. He's less experienced, more reckless, and prone to mistakes, and I think that's a really fresh take. It sets up a journey where we'll likely watch him grow into the iconic Bond over the course of the game, or maybe even whole series. One thing to note, the footage shown was from an alpha build, which explains the rough performance in some sections. Now let's cover that gameplay. The mission kicks off with Bond driving through some gorgeous mountain roads toward the stunning palace where we're tasked with tracking 009. Right away, I really like the art style. It leans realistic but still feels video gamey in a good way. No complaints here. Once you reach the palace, the infiltration begins. You follow a suspicious bellhop, and this is where the Hitman influence starts to show. Using Bond's watch, you can scan the environment for entry points, clues, and ways to slip inside unnoticed. We got a look at a few gadgets like the dart phone and some classic distractions to manipulate guards. That said, some of these distractions were questionable. A guard just staring at running water for minutes, or another one fixating on a smoking hay pile. It wasn't the most convincing AI behavior. And then we literally sneaked through a window without raising suspicion using Bond's charisma, which was not the best convincing thing here. Still, I'll consider that as nitpicking, so let's move on.
What? Ken Banks, penetration tester. I need to have a stern word with your manager.
Good to have you on the team.
Now, once inside, the palace interior looked fantastic. The lighting through the windows, the decorations, the furniture, even the carpets, all of it felt detailed and alive, and that level of richness really boosted immersion. From there, things escalated into a chase sequence. It had some exciting cinematic beats, Bond leaping off cliffs, swerving off roads, crashing through destructible objects. The scenery itself looked great with impressive draw distance, but the motion blur was cranked way too high, making it look overly blurry instead of fast and intense. The driving also seemed a bit stiff, though it may feel different when actually playing. Performance-wise, there was noticeable frame drops, which surprised me given it was a showcase, but I do respect them for showing the real thing. And again, alpha footage, so no final judgment yet. Next up was the airfield shootout, which was pure spectacle. Explosions, vehicles, chaos everywhere, it looked awesome. The gunplay, however, didn't seem to pack as much punch as I was hoping for. Maybe it feels better hands-on, but visually it lacked a bit of impact. On the positive side, there was a nice variety of weapons, pistols, SMGs, shotguns, and a solid amount of destructibility in the environment. Sure, they leaned a little too much on explosive barrels, but I'll take it. I've said this before, but destructibility and physics are the future of games, and seeing them here was a big plus. The hand-to-hand combat stood out too. Bond can throw enemies, use them to break falls, slam them into the environment, even toss empty guns in their faces. One of my favorite moves was grabbing an enemy and using him as a cushion for a drop. It looked badass. Vehicle destruction also looked satisfying. Overall, the combat variety was impressive, even if performance dips popped up again during the chaos, especially in the plane sequence that kept things off with a cliffhanger. After that, they showed a deeper dive into gameplay during a gala mission. This section leaned heavily into stealth and choice, very much like Hitman. You will scout areas, eavesdrop on conversations, and decide how you want to approach objectives. Quiet infiltration or direct confrontation. Bond's gadgets return here, with the watch letting you scan for enemy patterns and distraction options. Other tools included laser that can be used offensively or tactically, and smoke devices for escapes. What I really liked is how smoothly the game transitioned if you get caught. Instead of fail screen, Bond just rolls up his sleeves and dives into fistfights. The hand-to-hand system looked diverse with throws, parries, and environmental takedowns, something I wish more games leaned into. And finally, the State of Play wrapped up with the release date, March 27, 2026, alongside pre-order bonuses and a first look at the Legacy Edition, which honestly looks pretty awesome. Might be tough to resist that one.